Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. Today I want to give you guys my guide on completing the new monster hunt, the dungeon run of the Witchwood for the first class. The first class is labeled as Tracker, but we all know it's Tess Greymane, and well, she might not be the hardest. There's certainly quite a large RNG element to these. I think overall the difficulty is lower than Dungeon Run, but the RNG element is a little bit higher, so there's a little bit of like fake difficulty. Like the first time I was playing Test or Tracker or whatever, it took me, I don't know, like 3 hours something to actually complete it. And with her, it's largely the last boss, Captain Shivers. So I mostly want to cover that. It turns out that Tess is just pretty good against most of the other bosses. Her balance between high tempo cards and extreme value hero power that generates spells that have been played in this game makes it so if you know what you're up against, maybe at least the second time around, if you fail a few times at first, you'll know which direction you have to move the game into, and she has all the tools available for that. However, the final boss is really just very, very tough. The final boss, Captain Shivers, has a deck centered around Kingsbane. Kingsbane is his only weapon, and his hero power on autocast costs 0 and pulls a random weapon from his deck. Now, this is like a mandatory play hero power, so it happens right after his draw. So if Kingsbane is in his deck and he's at like 9 cards, he draws the card for the turn, he plays a hero power, he actually mills his Kingsbane, and he's basically done at that point, right? But if he is rolling Kingsbanes like crazy, he's going to eventually have like a 20 attack life-stealing weapon that he can never get rid of that is obviously going to just annihilate you. One thing that Tess doesn't get a lot of is taunts, so yeah, that can be pretty tricky. So basically, I wanted to do a guide for Tess in the monster hunt, but it largely has to be focused around the final boss. You basically are just building your deck so you can eventually beat the final boss, and whatever deck you're building in the meantime is going to be pretty good meanwhile against the other guys. So here's what works against the last boss. You can yourself play a Kingsbane deck because he's playing Kingsbane, he has his own weapon buffs, and your hero power can copy spells that have been previously played this game. If you have anything like a double your hero power, you can use your hero power twice a turn, it only costs 1 mana. That's one of the passives that you can encounter playing Tess. That's really good, especially if you have your own weapons, especially if you have your own Kingsbane. Now, it might seem like a pretty crappy idea to go Kingsbane and not have much in terms of weapon synergy, but because of that hero power, that's fine. It'll probably be pretty worthless against the other bosses, but the only thing that really matters for Tess is being able to beat the last boss. There's a few other things that you can do. Lorewalker is excellent at filling his hand. If you can fill his hand to 9 cards, or 10 I guess, go for the overkill, when he doesn't have his weapon active, when it's currently in his deck, you can get him to mill the weapon. So again, Lorewalker Cho, it really sucks against all the other bosses, but it's basically a win condition against Captain Shivers. And the last one is kind of like the Hail Mary. If you are not offered these tools, if you don't think you can, beat a deck like his, and you're nearing the last few bosses, pick cards that don't cost a lot of mana. The reason you want to pick cards that don't cost a lot of mana is so you can play them a lot. You can play many of them on the same turn. And the reason you'd want to do that is because Captain Shivers has Fel Reavers in his deck. Yes, that Fel Reaver. So the idea is that when he finishes his weapon, it goes back to his deck, and for that 1 out of 3 turns, it's in the deck currently, you have a chance to mill the weapon. If he has a Fel Reaver on the board, if it's your only chance, you gotta go for it. You gotta leverage that chance. So overall, I've had a lot of fun in Dungeon Run, and I think with some of my tips here, you can certainly overcome some of the challenges. I got a clip for you guys so you guys can see some of the crazy crap that can happen against Captain Shivers, and you'll probably get the idea moving forward. So check it out, enjoy, and I'll see you guys in a little bit. We got another Hunter of Old. I'm probably going to just take that, get another Hunter. I mean, that's the deck that we're playing. We're playing Miracle, so Crushing Walls, Assassinate, Spectral Cutlass. I think I'm just gonna professional it. Oh god, it's always this guy, isn't it? It's gonna be really hard. Cho. Oh yeah, it should have been Cho, because I should have known it was this guy. It's always this guy. It's always fucking this guy. Yeah, my bad.
Tess versus Captain Shivers. Shivers. I thought you were dead.
Aye, it be the daughter of the king that done us in.
You have to Kingsbane and discover all the buffs, all his buffs, yeah. And that would do it. He starts with that weapon? I didn't know that. Quiet Tex.
I'll finish what my father started.
What better vengeance than to claim you for my crew? My blade sings to me, and I sing back!
Jade Serpent guide you.
You got deadly poison though now. Fine. Yeah, no more rock is a problem, but the rest is fine.
Talk about a nice
Probably have to survive 2 waves of this. Oh god, that's really bad. That's so fucking bad. He's only got 2 cards left right now. This is gonna be GG.
This'll pack a punch. Drown out the waves!
Yeah. These minions. No. Okay. Well, that's fine if I can pull my own Kingsbane here.
My hand is too full.
This'll pack a punch. Clear the way!
Throwing rocks because my rocks are a lot stronger than his rocks are gonna be. Just keep throwing rocks.
This only works on the simple-minded.
Nice. Very nice.
What lurks in the depths? Clear the way!
This is gonna be really rough.
I search the world for this beauty.
Yeah.
My hand is too full.
I got the best deals anywhere.
I'll never
Behind.
Just gotta draw Kingsbane. Just give me a Kingsbane. Oh. Thing is, I have to not die right now. That might be a little tough. Might be a little bit tough to stay alive. There is a chance, but it's not very big.
come midnight.
I think we want to make our minions as scary looking as possible. So I think we want to do that. Maybe I'll discover something reasonable. No, it's all garbage. There. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. That's also good. garbage again.
One shot, one kill.
And land on that Kingsbane, please.
X marks the spot.
There's only one card in his deck, dude. Just one fucking card. No. No. What? Did I miss it? Or is that actually fucking Kingsbane? It's Kingsbane.
Use the deck you built.
Is that right?
Welcome aboard!
Let's just be clear on what it took to lose that. I needed to have an entire hand of unplayable cards. I needed to not draw any weapon whatsoever. I needed to not draw any minions whatsoever. And I needed him to have his weapon as his last card. Not second last card out of like 20.